Hey all you lot, and welcome to another episode of News You Might Have Missed. I'm your host Tom Lord, and on this show we look at a mighty mix of eclectic excerpts ranging from news outlets, blogs, and tabloid rags based around the globe. On today's show we've got a Dutch baby TV channel got hacked by Russia for the purposes of propaganda, Google inundated with searches such as "Why do my eyes hurt?" after US eclipse, and a Mexican news outlet accidentally airs a video of a man's testicles. But first, Roku has patented being able to show ads on any device they're plugged into, whether they're watching the Roku or not. According to Ars Technica, the system will detect paused content on external devices and show ads on top. This comes from a patent application from the company, spotted by Lowpass, describing a system for displaying ads over any device being connected by HDMI. This could include cable boxes, games consoles, DVD or Blu-ray players, PCs, or even other video streaming devices. Roku filed for the patent in August 23, and it was published officially in November 23, though it hasn't yet been granted. But everything from the cost of implementing the feature, to difficulty actually making it work in real life, and user and partner backlash, could dissuade Roku from putting this into practice. But Roku, the company, is still trying to work out how to make more money from its devices in the future. Wow, what a wonderful way to ruin a business reputation. If my Roku interferes with ads next time I'm watching a classy art house film, they'll be getting a strongly worded letter from my solicitor. A Dutch baby TV channel got hacked by Russia for the purposes of propaganda. According to new.nl, hackers managed to take over a broadcast on baby TV, and a Russian propaganda film was shown on the children's channel via a jammer. And insiders warn, taking over baby TV was not the ultimate goal, but possibly a harbinger of more. Apparently this came as a surprise to viewers of baby TV, when the sound suddenly disappeared on Thursday, 28th of March. One watcher said, "That made me go and see what was going on, and then I saw Russian propaganda." He then tipped the editors off and shared a video of what he saw. He said you saw the Russian President Putin, the Russian flag, animations of a bridge, and a map of Russia. An unnamed source said, "This incident puts everyone on edge." In a statement, Eutelsat, the company that was hacked, confirmed that an external source impacted some of its video services for a short period of time, and the satellite company is investigating the incident and is taking measures to prevent a reoccurrence. I'm not really sure of the purpose of this hack. Are they trying to create some sort of indoctrinated, controllable spy babies? Or actually have I just described Donald Trump? A top Israeli spy chief blew his own cover after self-publishing a book on Amazon. According to the New Republic, Yossi Surreal, probably not said that right, has revealed himself as the head of the IDF's Unit 8200 and the mastermind behind AI strategy. According to the article, when publishing the book, Surreal accidentally tied it to a private Google account in his name. The Google account came with a unique ID, as well as links to calendar profiles and maps. And in a Guardian report, they were able to confirm with multiple sources that Surreal wrote The Human Machine Team, which is about use of artificial intelligence in military operations. But he had published the book under the name Brigadier General YS. He can't be much of a top spy if he outed himself in a book. Just like saying Katie Price is great at subtlety, or OJ Simpson was great at driving a Ford Bronco. An airline passenger in Sydney has been fined for urinating in a cup. According to AP News, the incident happened after a 3-hour flight from Auckland, which occurred in December, and a Sydney court fined the 53-year-old man $600 Australian. The incident only came to public attention on Friday, when New Zealand website Stuff reported that a passenger in the same row, identified only as Holly, said she reported the behaviour to the aircrew. Holly said the plane had been on the ground for about 20 minutes, waiting for a terminal gate to be allocated, and that's when she heard the unmistakable sound of a passenger urinating in a cup. She said the man was obviously quite drunk and spilled urine on a flight attendant as he left the plane. Air New Zealand said it doesn't comment on individual incidents, but that it bans between 5 and 10 customers each month for disruptive behaviour. I'm going to say what we were all thinking. At least it wasn't someone else's cup. See? You're just as broken as me. Congratulations. Chechnya has banned all music deemed too fast or too slow. According to CNN, Musa Dadyev announced the decision to limit all musical, vocal and choreographic compositions to a tempo ranging from 80 to 116 beats per minute. This comes after Roman Kadyrov's directive, where apparently this ensures that Chechen musical and dance creations align with the Chechen mentality and musical rhythm, aiming to bring to the people, and to the future of our children, the cultural heritage of the Chechen people. This means that many songs in musical styles such as pop and techno will be banned. According to the article, Chechnya is almost an entirely Muslim republic, which also includes a part of Russia's border with Georgia, and Roman Kadyrov has been leader since 2007 and has used his time in office to stifle any form of dissent. If they really think that banning music is going to stop Slavs from listening to hard bass, then the Chechen government has more optimism than a Bolton Wanderers supporter. A man has appeared in court naked after his emotional support cat went missing after a traffic stop. According to RTE, Mr Davies of Ashington Mews, Dublin, was charged with road traffic offences after failing to give police his details and not keeping the car stationary during an alleged incident on Friday at Dunsink Drive in Finglas. The judge who's presiding over the case, Judge Quirk, had heard that the motorist had refused to wear his clothes when being brought to the courthouse. Mr Davies then entered the courtroom naked with his hands over his private parts. But within seconds he stood with his arms outstretched to argue his case after rejecting the services of a lawyer. Mr Davies then went on to say, "Let me tell you my story. This is relevant. This is my story. What happened yesterday, I was travelling with my companion, Pet Oliver. He normally comes into this court, and I was dropping off legal documents pertaining to a legal case in the High Court. He claimed he'd been lent the car involved in the alleged offence and demanded, 'Now where is my emotional support animal?' The Judge Quirk then set his bail and directed immediate medical attention while he remained in custody. But whilst being escorted out of the courtroom, he replied he didn't need a doctor, just his pet. But the judge assured him, saying that all will be looked into. If I'd lost my emotional support pussy, I'd be livid too. My pussy ran away from home once, and when it came back it was never the same." A Kentucky man admits to faking his own death to avoid child support. According to The Guardian, Jesse Kipp pleaded guilty to computer fraud and identity theft after he created a fake death certificate for himself. This guy got into the state of Hawaii's death registry system, then posed as a doctor from out of state in order to create the fake death certificate. But the plan eventually went wrong, and Kipp now has about $116,000 along with $200,000 to businesses and government agencies he hacked. In addition, he faces a maximum of 7 years in prison and up to $500,000 in fines. It sounds like it would have been cheaper to actually kill yourself for real. I mean, there are some obvious disadvantages to that plan, mainly the smell and the apathy, but no one's perfect. A woman's been arrested for shooting at drivers and says that God told her to because of the eclipse. According to ABC News, the Florida Highway Patrol says a woman who said she was going on a God-directed shooting spree because of the solar eclipse shot 2 drivers. Taylor Nichelle Celestine, 22, of Georgia, came onto the highway 115 miles of the Alabama border, and within 5 miles, she then fired into a passing car several times, throwing glass everywhere and grazing the driver in the arm. She then shot at a second vehicle, hitting the driver in the neck. Troopers eventually stopped the woman and found her with an AR-15 rifle and a 9mm handgun. She was then arrested and booked into the Holmes County Jail, where she was charged with attempted murder, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, and improper discharge of a firearm. Why is it always God that nutters cite when they do unhinged rubbish? Why not Charles Manson, Hitler, or Mr. Blobby? Hasn't God got enough childhood cancer to answer for? A man whose ex-wife cut off his penis reunites with his ex-wife and reaffirms his love. According to O Globo, Gilberto Nogueira de Oliveira, 39, and his penis-cutting ex-wife, 34, have been exchanging letters in which they reaffirm their desire to resume their relationship. Mug. At the end of last year, the couple were making preparations to get married, and had even furnished a farmhouse together. But before Christmas, the woman found out her partner was having an affair with her 15-year-old niece. She decided to take revenge. That's where she bought lingerie and prepared for a night of love. And then while the groom was in bed without clothes, she turned off the light and tied an elastic band around his penis. She then used a razor to cut it. And to avoid a possible reimplantation, she threw the man's penis into a toilet and flushed it, but not before taking a photo of her partner's member in her hands and posting it to the man's family group. At the police station, she confessed and was arrested. And the man underwent a series of surgeries, but is not fully recovered. But once it's fully healed, he should receive a penile prosthesis. Don't put your wang in crazy. And certainly don't continue to put your wang in crazy after you were separated from said wang. Have some self-respect, man. Maybe just find a nice girl who beats you up in an afternoon. You know, an upgrade. Google has been inundated with searches such as, "Why do my eyes hurt?" after the US eclipse. According to RTL News, "My eyes feel crazy after the eclipse," "My eyes hurt after using eclipse glasses," and "Why do my eyes hurt after the eclipse?" were phrases that people Googled in Central and North America. And it's not just things being Googled. Some people are taking to social media too to ask similar questions. This person said, "I really think I hurt my eyes trying to look at that damn eclipse today. My eyeballs are sore." And the Spectator found this surge in Google searches for the phrase, "Why do my eyes hurt?" But an ophthalmologist chimed in and said, "You may have a headache, but if it doesn't involve vision problems, you'll most probably be fine." And another doctor said, "People have experienced problems because of staring at the same point for a long time, which can strain your eye, and that in most cases, the headache and eye pain should disappear after a few hours." Top tip then, don't look at the sun. Bright thing in the sky, burning eyes, owies. That's for our less educated American brethren. Who am I kidding? They don't have time for YouTube. Not with their tasty looking sister around. A man accidentally bought 2 identical lottery tickets, with both of them winning $1 million. The Annapolis man told Maryland lottery officials he went to the 7-Eleven store on Bestgate Road in Annapolis and used the lottery terminal's replay feature, which scans old tickets for winners and prints new tickets bearing the same numbers. But the man said he didn't consider that the stack of tickets to scan included some bearing the same sets of numbers, and so ended up with some duplicates. The man then brought his tickets back to scan them after hearing the 7-Eleven had sold 2 $1 million winning tickets, and he said he realised he had duplicates when 4 of his tickets won $4 each. The man was then shocked when he scanned a ticket that matched the first 5 numbers from the drawing. The man then called his wife before scanning the rest of the stack. But whilst he was on the phone to his wife, he said, "I still have tickets to go through. What if I have the second $1 million ticket?" The man then discovered that that was indeed the case, and they say they're going to invest their winnings. Good. I'm glad. Bravo. Some people are obviously quite lucky, and others will forever sit in a pit of misery. A reported armed man at a Scottish railway station turns out to be a cosplay stormtrooper. According to UPI, the man known as the Grampian Stormtrooper on social media was dressed in his Imperial Stormtrooper costume with a Scottish twist, obviously a kilt, when he boarded a ScotRail train to Dundee at the Aberdeen train station. But the train then returned to the station shortly after departing, and the man was approached by a guard who escorted him to waiting police officers. The Stormtrooper himself said he was met by 2 firearms officers, 3 Police Scotland and 2 British Transport Police, and they had a chat to him in an office. That's where the man learned he had been reported for carrying a firearm, and he explained to the police that his blaster was a plastic prop. Police then took the man home so he could get a bag for his blaster so as not to alarm his fellow train passengers again. He was also asked not to wear his full Stormtrooper armour on the train. To be fair, it's pretty hard to see the difference between the average Scotsman and a Stormtrooper. Both of them white as a sheet, both of them scary at night, and both of them very difficult to understand after a few shots. A German museum employee has been fired after hanging up his own painting. According to RTL News, because of his work in the museum, the 51-year-old man had access to various rooms outside opening hours, and as a result, he managed to hang the painting in the early hours. The man was hoping that his painting was going to cause an artistic breakthrough. The painting was only up for a day. It was noticed by supervisors shortly after opening, but it was decided not to remove the painting until after the museum closed. A museum spokesperson said he sees himself as an artist and probably saw his work in the museum as a day job to finance his true calling, and it has not been revealed exactly what type of painting it was, but reports to the newspaper suggest the painting had received no positive feedback from the visitors. The man has been fired, and after drilling 2 holes in the wall, the aspiring artist is suspected of damaging the museum. Isn't this how the last supervillain was made in Germany, a painter who never got appreciated? I'd say it's worth a bit of empty wall space and maybe give him a trophy, calm him down a bit. A Mexican news outlet accidentally broadcasts a video of a man's testicles. According to The Independent, RCG Media's 24/7 news programme was covering the eclipse, which included a segment showing viewers home footage of the celestial event. But as the male host was listing cities from where the eclipse could be enjoyed, the clips being presented on the left side of the screen cut to a man blocking at the sun with his privates. According to the article, the incident may have occurred after the channel's vetting team failed to notice the video's content, which was dubbed the Eclipse testicular on social media. After the clip was shown, one of the two female presenters audibly gasped following the footage, and the clip was quickly taken off screen, but the male anchor explained that clips were submitted by the viewers, and he admitted that the further to include viewers' experiences can lead to embarrassing situations for broadcasters. And one Twitter or X user said, "Greetings to all my people in Salito who had to see my balls on television because of the people at RCG Media who didn't properly review the video of the eclipse. I love them. What a legend. I doff my imaginary cap to you. And in the words of the wonderful Bonnie Tyler, there's nothing I can say. Total eclipse of the balls." An elderly North Carolina woman accuses a man of having sexual relations with her car for 3 years. According to WITN, Kinston police on Monday arrested Walter McRae for activity related to mechanophilia, of which mechanophilia is defined as sexual attraction to machines or vehicles. The 82-year-old victim, not the car itself, OBS, told WITN that she doesn't know Mr. McRae and says her car has also been urinated on. She said, "I thought something was happening from under the hood of my car because whenever he would come up here, he would urinate all over the hood of the car and it would run down and I thought it was something with the car. I took my car to the shop 3 times." And the arrest warrant accused the 52-year-old man of getting on the hood of the car and sexually gratifying himself on multiple occasions. The woman said she tried to put cameras out to catch what was happening, but the man would move them. But then she said Kinston police put their camera on and caught what was going on. She said, "They caught him on camera. They came Monday morning and took the films out and came back to the door and said, 'We got him this time. We have good film. We have good pictures.' But it was really more than we wanted to see. It was more than we wanted to see." What was he actually doing? Licking the wing mirrors and fisting the tailpipe? And finally, a priest has been jailed after an overdose of erectile drugs at a cleric sex party. According to the Telegraph, a Polish priest has been sentenced to 18 months in jail for sex and drug crimes after a man collapsed during an orgy at his home. And according to Polish media, the victim had taken too many erectile dysfunction pills, and an ambulance was called, but when paramedics arrived, they were refused entry and were only able to administer aid after police arrived. The priest, referred to as Thomas C., was sentenced for sexual offences, supplying drugs, and failing to provide assistance to a person in danger of loss of life or serious bodily harm. He was also ordered to pay the victim around £3,000 in damages, and pay further money to a fund set up to help crime victims. The Bishop of the diocese also stepped down, but the Vatican gave no reason for his resignation, and Thomas Z was discharged from the clergy in 2023 after media reports. Maybe there is a change in the Catholic Church. A priest of old used to just do a bit of the old nonsense, and apart from the overdose, it sounds like actual adults they're having sex with. Progress. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe if you do so fancy. Also, if you think there's any news that we might have missed, please get in contact on the email in the description below. See you next time for another jam-packed news you might have missed. Stay gravy.